We are born into this world with a story that can inspire and transcend and reach out to people. We are all given the gift of a story. Stories can entertain through film and stage and many art forms. But our own unique personal story as artists can be a powerful inspiration for many out there. Stories of success and stories of struggle. On my journey, I've tracked down some of the most empowering artists out there who are setting the world alight in a new age in our industry. This is their story. She is an actress, a presenter, a songwriter. She's also the board member of the Royal Birmingham Ballet. And there's more. She's the founder of Red Lens. Please welcome to the show today, Shireenah Ingram. Hello, how you doing?
Oh, well, thank you. That introduction almost didn't sound like me, but it is me. It's mad.
Well, I was trying to build you up. Yeah. That's the idea, isn't it?
You did.
Yeah.
You did my head.
So I call you the woman of many talents.
Yeah.
When I look at that list.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think, hearing it back. I think when you're doing stuff, you don't hear what you do because you're just doing it. So to hear someone else say it, it's like, wow, is that me? So yeah.
Is that the first time you had someone say that?
Yeah, because today, obviously the board members knew, the business owners knew. I've always just been an actress.
I mean, yeah. That's kind of like as I started off as well, but then you just want to add to your skill set. You build that list. So when I'm looking at the list, I was like, whoa, this woman's done a lot of things. It's like, wow, incredible. So you're going to have a lot to talk about then. Right?
Yeah, I am. Have you got enough time?
We'll see how much time we can sneak in the stuff, yeah. Well, thank you for coming down today. Much appreciated. In the British weather. We know what the British weather is like because we're in springtime at the moment. And then, of course, we've got snow, so it's a bit crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what I'd like to get started with is tell us about your background and where you come from.
Right, where I come from. Well, I'm born and bred in Birmingham. I'm a proud Birmingham
Birmingham. Don't get started with the Birmingham accent.
Yeah. Well, you know what's hilarious? Because Lenny Henry's from the Midlands. He's actually from the Black Country, but his accent's really thick, and everyone thinks you say Birmingham, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, Birmingham." Well, I don't speak like that, as you can hear. But born and raised in Birmingham, and then I was living in London for about 5-6 years, and moved back just in lockdown 2020. Back to Birmingham, and just kind of have made some grounded roots now, and I'm just, all the things that have happened kind of in the last few years have happened just like by chance, by going home. So it feels nice to be home.
It feels like you've been all over the place, haven't you?
I mean, I did go to America for a little bit, but not really to work. It was just to see the big city, the big country.
Wow.
Yeah.
You went to America?
I did.
What part did you go to?
I travelled around. So I went for 4 weeks, and I started in... Where did I start? Orlando. Then I went over to Atlanta. I did a bit of Miami as well. That was with Orlando. Then I went to LA, Hollywood, and then back to New York. So kind of just did a big circle. But I want to go back. There's so much more to see. But growing up, you're watching American films and shows. Yeah. I just felt like it was on my bucket list. I had to do it.
Interesting. Yeah, so you come back to the good old UK.
I did, yeah. Come back home.
Okay. The next question I want to ask is, what was it like growing up for you?
So I always look back and think I had an amazing childhood. I was just very blessed. I think I've grown up now as an adult. I'm very grateful and appreciative of what I have anyway. But when I look back at my childhood, I know that I had so much more than many don't. I was raised by my granddad, and I'm the youngest of 4 siblings. And that in itself could have been a challenge because they were much older than me, and I was like the baby, couldn't do anything. They were going to the cinema, they were going swimming, and I couldn't go. And I remember just having a lot of time with my granddad, which I think gave me a lot of nurture and love. And I loved that. So I felt very loved growing up, very kind of free to express my creativity, which I'd often do on my own. So I'd had a little piano, a little keyboard that I'd create little songs on. And that was my way of expression. I was never put into sports really. So for me, it was like writing a little song on the piano of, I'm feeling sad today, or I'm feeling happy. It would come out through song. And I think kind of that's where I got the idea of just being creative and maybe having a talent for it came from as well.
So you had a musical route as well?
Yeah.
So how did you explore that side?
Music, yeah. So, well, in primary school, we definitely had we used to sing in assemblies and things like everyone did. And then by secondary school, I think I knew I could hold a tune. I knew I could sing. So any opportunity to be in the choir or perform at the school concerts that we used to have, I'd be like, yeah, I'm down, put my name on it. But it's weird because I actually started playing an instrument first, so I played the tuba. It's just hilarious.
The tuba.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think I remember them.
Yeah, the one with the big bell. They hold it like this. And
that you played something very stylish though, because I used to play the guitar.
Actually, I wanted to play the viola. It was between the viola and the tuba.
Oh, is it?
I think
you like the tuba.
They needed more tuba players, so that's how I ended up playing.
Because not many people know how to play them, probably.
I think that's what it is. And there was mainly men playing it as well, so it's like female tuba player over here, which was pretty cool.
You bring it in today.
Oh, well, no, I don't play it anymore. I don't think I can play it.
All right.
You know what is funny? A little side note. There was a dating show that came out, and it was. I can't, if you remember, it's like they were on a bus and you had to have like a date on a bus and then you got kicked off the bus. Love Bus, I think it was called. It was called Love Bus.
You know what? It's familiar, but I don't remember.
My talent was a tuba, so you wait at the bus stop, the bus comes and picks you up. I had to carry on this tuba that they'd found me and I had to like play a song to this guy. And if he liked me, I would have stayed on the bus and had a date. If not, then he kicks me off the next stop. So that's like my little tuba story in adulthood.
How old are you?
I must be like early 20s. That was like,
early 20s.
That was like one of those jobs you do where you're like, I'm an actress, I can be on TV doing anything.
Yeah.
So I ended up playing the tuba on a bus. But yeah, so I played the tuba, did school concerts, and then I remember we had a school choir and I was leading that at some points, and I realised that I love the feeling of performing, that kind of live energy. You get off stage, getting a round of applause. Loved it. And I said, you know what, I definitely want to do more of this. Yeah. I enjoy performing. I enjoy that feeling. So that told me I definitely want a career in the arts or something performing.
What I've always found is it's always that bit of you want to express yourself and it's you want to practically give out your creative freedom basically by doing that. So you were doing the music side. What was the stage where you felt you had a knack for acting?
Acting in itself. I think we had a lot of...
what was the stage?
It was companies coming into secondary school. So I was doing performing arts BTEC first. So I was like, 14?
Everyone remembers the BTEC.
BTEC. I did the GNVQ and like the national...
If you started acting, you always remember the BTEC, I'm telling you.
Well, that was because I've never been academic, so I used to struggle with exams as well. So I love things that were more practical. So when the BTEC was advertised, it was like, it's more practical, minimal coursework. So we had a few companies come in, did like workshops with us, and I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, we get to kind of not have a real lesson. People have come in and teaching us things, and it was like, you're not your normal teacher, it's someone else coming in, and that just made me feel like, oh my gosh, I love this. And I think, again, I'd get like leading roles. I remember doing Aladdin as a pantomime, and I was Aladdin, and I learned so much, and I was so versatile at school, and everyone just looked to me. She was like, she can sing, she can dance, she's so confident.
So they were doing diversity in acting back then, weren't
absolutely.
They? Yeah, you're playing Aladdin,
I think that was it. So yeah, it all came from definitely those last few years in school. But the earlier years in school, it was the music teachers that kind of gave me the confidence to perform, and then channeled in on the acting kind of later years, do my GCSEs.
So was there a stage where you thought, right, I've got to focus entirely on the acting now, rather than not do the music, or could you combine the both?
So the music never really became a thing. It was it was always like a hobby. It was like something I enjoyed doing. It was very private. I think because it was all, for me, playing my music was like writing in a diary or journaling. It was a very private thing that I did at home when it was coming to me writing my own music. But if I was performing, it was a bit different. But I was never like a singer. I'd always just do something that involved music. Yeah. So the acting took over. I never really went down a musical theatre route because I would watch musicals, but I'd never see myself as a singer, dancer, actor. I heard about the triple threat and I thought, well, I can't really dance. So that's not going to be me.
Lifespan, I feel, in musical theatre. If you're a dancer as well, you can only like go up to certain years, can't you? And then you feel, I can't do this anymore. The band are playing.
I went to an audition once for a show, and I don't know if you've been to these dancing auditions where there's a dance section and it's like you have to learn a step, turn, flick, and jump and round and back and flick it. It was a mess. I've never walked out of an audition, but I walked out of that day.
You walked out of it?
I couldn't do it. I was like, I'm not a dancer. I don't know what I thought. I thought it was going to be movement, like step to the side and click. It was like pirouettes and flicks and rolls on the floor. And yeah, I walked out. I've never walked out of an audition, but I always remember that.
You just literally walked out.
Yeah. I was just like, I didn't tell anyone because they were in the middle of the.
Were you at the back and you thought, right, I'll quietly sneak off in the back.
Literally, yeah.
No one notices that I've gone.
It must have been so obvious, but I was like, I've got to go.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say, sorry, can't keep up. I just kind of left.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never left before. So yeah, dancing wasn't for me, which is why I never pursued musical theatre probably. But I always knew I loved music, but on a deeper level, it wasn't like I didn't want to make money from it. I just wanted to do it for my soul. Music was for me. The art, acting was for others.
So, okay. By the way, I have done musical sort of stuff before. Yeah, so I totally understand. Yeah. I always used to be the one at the back as well. So, for around us into the pantos.
Yeah.
Jeez. What was the stage where you felt you had to get started in the industry?
Where I had to get started, or where I wanted to?
When you wanted to get started. So we're kind of at the stage now where you've gone to auditions. You had people come in at your school to do workshops for you. What was the stage where you thought, yes, this is my passion. I want to do it for a career. I want to become a professional. I want to, make money out of it.
So I went to college, did the BTEC National, stepped up a level, and I was the only black female in my class, and that just naturally made me stand out. So any roles I had at college, people would always naturally just look to me. So the opportunities and confidence that, say, college gave me to kind of be the individual that had to stand out for whatever reason, that really made me feel like I can do this because I'm different. I've got something about me. I'm special. And that's where the self-belief came into it. So I naturally would have went on to progress to drama school. So I took that route. I auditioned, Lambda, RADA, Central, I think, East 15 maybe as well. All the big ones, because I thought I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go big. And at the time you still pay for auditions now, don't you? I don't know how it works, but it was...
For the actual audition?
For drama school auditions.
Yeah. As if they don't make enough money.
I know.
Yeah.
So I paid for them. I did it though. I thought I'm going to...
No drama schools watching this. But it's all worth it. It's all worth it.
No, it was at the time because I don't regret any steps that I took because they led me where I am now. So
of course,
it all happened the way it's
all worth it. Yeah.
But yeah, so I auditioned, got a couple callbacks. I think I got a callback for RADA and
RADA.
Yeah, like I got the
big one.
On Earth. And for Birmingham School of Acting, so it's like either the top or my Birmingham hometown. So with RADA, they said their feedback was go and get more life experience. So I was like, oh, okay. And then Birmingham's was, at the time I had a really bad lisp. So theirs was go away and get some speech therapy and maybe come back next year. In that time, I just decided, okay, I'm not going to go to drama school. It's not for me. Maybe I need to go it alone. So I started auditioning, driving to jobs that maybe were unpaid or just something I wanted to do. And from there, I thought, I'm a performer. I'm a grinder. I'm going to make it happen. But I was obviously working full time, I think, at a hotel at this point as well. So it was kind of balancing the two. But I knew I wanted to make the kind of performance career happen as well.
Because we know drama schools, they're a bit particular about speeches as well. They want you to speak a certain way, don't they? But I tell you what, to have RADA knocking on your door, that's a badge of honour. Put that on.
Oh yeah, it is. Isn't it? It's almost like the Oscar nominated.
Definitely.
Really cool.
So the next thing that I want to ask you is, I'm sure people back at home watching this will always appreciate people's successes and the success they've had, but the most important one out of the lot is always, what challenges did you go through? You feel like it's the challenges, the rejections that make us what we are at the end of the day. The rejections, it gives us, every rejection will build us up and give us rhinoceros skin. And you gotta have rhinoceros skin in this industry as well.
No, you do what?
Any challenges that you'd like to share?
From what I can remember, because I guess I've built that skin that I'm now quite resilient. So I'll probably get rejection, but don't feel it as deep as I guess some might. But I'd say one of the earlier ones was growing up in a family, I guess, that didn't do what I did. No one really understood music. No one knew acting. To be on TV would just be weird.
I totally identify with that. I'm sure a lot of that performers can
as well. Yeah. So it was that was the first hurdle. It was like, I want to do this thing that no one's ever done before. In our family, no one had been to university, I guess, so that was okay. But then that was probably the next big one, not getting into drama school. It was up until that point a given. Everyone that had seen me, family, friends, people I'd meet, say in college, people coming in were like, you're amazing, you've got something about you. I used to always get told that there's like an energy, or there's, what's the word, aura or something like that.
Certain aura about yourself.
When I'm performing. So for me, stepping into drama school, I'm like, I've got this. I'll definitely get into one of them. So to not get into any, I think probably was a knock at the time, but Shireenah turned that into fuel to say, you know what, I'm going to go on to do, I don't know, working for myself or whatever it was at the time. So that was probably a knock in itself at the time. I don't actually know how I dealt with that then. I don't remember, but it must have felt away because I'd spent all that money. I'd travelled to London for the first time and I was rejected. So yeah, quite sad. But I kept going. Other rejections, probably the bigger ones are when you kind of apply for a job and you really want it. I'm trying to think there was a role I thought again I'd get. I can't think of it now. But well, there's many jobs.
What area was it in?
I think it was TV. Film? I think it was TV. Or a feature film.
So you got a TV sort of audition quite early in the States?
Yeah, quite early, which again, I felt like, oh my gosh, it's a sign. I've got it. But I didn't get it.
There's people that bite your hand off for that. To have a TV audition there.
Well, yeah, I think I've just built like a gratitude and like appreciation for everything now, and nothing is guaranteed. Nothing's, even if you have a job today, it might not be there in a year's time. So whatever I did come into contact with, I said, you know what, make the most of it right now and utilize it, you know, to help you to the next job or next person that you might meet as well. I'd say more recent years, what I've really probably struggled with the most is having, I mean, I'm not famous at all, but I've got a profile now, let's say. People know. Sorry, make free. But I feel like I've got a status that I can utilize with people in my circles now. When I go out, I'll present myself a certain way. But having the business was this weird transition of like, people know about Shireenah, but no one knows about Red Lens. And I kind of lead with, of course, people will, you know, buy into my business, or they know what it is, or they get it. And it's been really interesting. People not, say, I don't know, coming to a class or not engaging with a social media post. And I'm taking the rejection so personally because obviously Red Lens is a company, but at the same time, Red Lens is me. And I'm probably still kind of battling that because the business is not even a year old yet. So that's been a really big kind of daily or weekly battle. As soon as something goes out there for Red Lens, I'm like, it's technically Shireenah putting herself out there. And I've never felt more nerves kind of running this business than with any of my acting up until this point. And it's only been 11 months with the business. So I'd say as an actor, the resilience is now there. I've been able to overcome challenges by just seeing everything as an opportunity. With this business, it's a whole new kind of ball game. I need to work on a way of building that resilience up so that I feel protected by my business, that it's not me, but also to find a way to just keep pushing forward and use it as like new motivation to keep knocking down doors and new opportunities and to meet new people as well. Kind of like today, you know, it's a nice way to kind of meet someone else.
It certainly is. I was about to say you were nervous there building your own company and stuff. I said, what more than today? Where are you on?
Hopefully not. No, I felt quite confident today. I don't know why. This is right, my element, I guess.
Yeah, and this is a nice chat we're having, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's lovely.
Amazing. Yeah. I've always found personally that we can't always do things by ourselves.
Yes.
So what I wanted to ask you is, we can have an agent that can help us out, but no one helps us on the personal growth. And I feel it's so important to have someone on your personal growth as well at the same time. So did you have any mentors or coaches that helped you get up to this life stage that you're at now?
No official,
growing up or now at the moment?
No official mentors or anyone that was like, I am your mentor. I had just people in my life that were clear pillars of support, strength, advice, just encouragement that I didn't actually probably realize I needed until I look back and think, oh my gosh, if I didn't have that person in my life, I would never have probably done that or tried that opportunity. So the biggest one, as always, is my granddad. He raised me and my siblings. And without him, I just think, I don't know where I'd be. I potentially wouldn't have grew up with my siblings. You know, we would have potentially all grew up apart. So I always just think him grounding me as a child, giving me that childhood that I look back on and have such fun memories of, for me, that as a start in life, he kind of gave me that platform, and that I'm just truly just grateful for him. My best friend, who I met in secondary school, so at say age 12, he's a Capricorn, and I always say it's his mindset. He's very like driven in terms of gotta be having the best, you know, we gotta work hard, and you know, he's just an achiever. So I take so much inspiration from him. He kind of went down the academic route, and I'm just in awe of what he does, because we're both just as ambitious, but he's very like, I don't know, brain smart. I'm more kind of creative and, you know, go with the flow. So he's been a strong pillar as well. In terms of kind of people that are ahead of me in life in doing things that I want to do, a big inspiration growing up, I don't know why, was Jamelia. She's so she's a Birmingham,
she's from Birmingham, wasn't she? Yeah,
and she was a singer, so it was like music. So her song Superstar,
I remember that one back in the day.
I used to sing it all. I used to sing that in a school concert, and my friends used to always sing that song to me. That's my song. So she was almost like a distant mentor, I suppose, or inspiration to me. And I guess there's been pockets of people as I've gone through the industry I meet and have conversations now that are just much more meaningful, or I'm asking the right questions. So I kind of haven't had one set mentor. It's just I've utilised the people around me at that time in my life, or that, like today, you know, speaking to people that you meet. It's just you never know who could just give you a bit of wisdom or a nugget of advice that could change your whole year.
So it sounds like you've had a variety, and as you're right, like the people you come in contact with or who you network with, you can have like an energy exchange, as they call it, and you can tell by the way you bounce off someone else's energy, you know, if that person is right. To have, you know, that if it's right, they will remain in your life, basically. So what you were saying there was you've had a variety of people in your life who have been like sort of mentors and have guided you in the right direction. I've always found people's energies, you can bounce off people's energies, and you know who to connect to in your life, and the right sort of energy, then people will remain in your life. And the ones that don't, you know, don't worry about it.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean? It was meant to happen. It happens for a reason, and then people think,
I have a little say that's like this. What's it? People have a reason. No. Everyone says in your life for like a season or something. Like everyone has a season in your life.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on it. But
I like it though, because everyone has the seasons, don't they?
Yeah. It always change. We change. They change. Life changes.
Yeah, we're being challenged. Yeah, and that's the good thing. What I want to cover now is we're going to discuss your film projects, kind of like that. So were you more of a film person or stage sort of person when you began out, or I guess you're more film now because you do a lot of film, but what were you originally, what did you do most of before we get onto your film?
When I took the path of, right, I'm going to be a trailblazer and pave my own career, that was a lot of kind of background work and live stuff, but not theatre, more kind of doing workshops or working with children or children's shows, theatre and education, never really kind of big stage shows, although I have done a little bit of stage to date. But no, I built all my experience on sets and did a lot of background work. And weirdly, like when I did Get Doctors, I'd done a background work on that years before. So it was so just like full circle to be there and like, oh my gosh, I'm actually one of the leads now. And that was really nice and exciting as well. But yeah, it's always been film and TV. I've always had a preference. I get bored easily, and
I understand the feeling.
So I just find theatre a bit too repetitive. If I am doing a theatre show, it has to be short and sweet.
So no long runs or anything like that.
I don't know how people do a show for a whole year. I couldn't do that. Each to their own. But
you're right, because I get bored easily as well. So hats off to them people who do them shows for a really long time.
Sometimes matinee as well. So
it's true. Repeative cycle. This little girl.
Yes.
Tell us about that. This is a film that you have done. It's recently had its premiere, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Tell us a bit more about the film and Tell us about the character you play.
The character as well, yeah. So this was again through my agent.
Hats off to your agent.
Yeah. Got it kind of at the start of 2021. So it was like nice when things were coming back to normal, and it was really exciting. And it was a BFI funded film, and it had said in the kind of the brief, it said, it's not that well paid, but it's full of heart and soul. The crew's really loving. Two sisters were working on the project. So, kind of got the script, did a take, and I did 2 takes. And I remember the second one being a bit different. I thought, I'm not going to do what it says. I'm going to kind of put my own approach on it. And my friend that was doing the take with me said, I think that one's nice, actually, give them something a bit different. And to this day, I believe that was the take that got me the job. Because I just felt like I was a bit more vulnerable.
How many takes did you do?
Probably did about 3 or 4. And then whittled it down to 2, just because there were 2 different ones. I thought I'd send 2, one of what they probably wanted, and then something that was my choice. I like not to do too many takes, because I think you can just get really confused and not know which one to send across. But
especially doing self-tape.
Oh, this is it. So
I feel people have been given an excuse because we do a lot of self-tapes now. It's because people feel, we can do so many takes possible. But then, no. So what's the maximum you will go up to? You drive yourself insane if you're constantly... Unless
I've made a mistake, I mean, I try and rehearse it enough so that I can just kind of do like 3 maybe maximum, because, I just feel like I also don't like to over-rehearse it, so I kind of want it to be fresh and just go for it. I'm all about my kind of style of acting is very like naturalistic and authentic. I don't really like to perform, if that makes sense. So if I try and capture a good moment and try and be as subjective as I can, or objective as I can when I'm watching it back, so that I'm not too...
I can understand what you get.
Yeah, so I'm trying to be like that and not kind of get too into it and just see it neutrally. But so I got the call back, or the recall, and it was Nikki Meadows casting, and even she had said to my agent,
Nikki Meadows, yes, I've been to a couple of those.
So I don't think I'd had a casting with her before, but she was like, the writer director loved your tape. Wants you in a recall, and it was going to be the 3 of us on Zoom in my kitchen, sat there ready to go. And and then she spoke through the story. And at this time, so my granddad, who I mentioned had raised me, had like just passed the end of 2020, and I think I was still grieving. I was very just slow in mood. And as Annette was telling me the story of this, this little girl, who I think is either me or the child that's in it as well. Because there's me, I'm a mother to a young child, and I'm basically dealing with substance abuse. This story is my journey through rehab and posing the question, like, will she, become clean for her child, this little girl? But it also looks at the story of me, of like how I got to this stage, the little child that's within me, and the reason she took this route and this path. And we had a lovely chat just kind of about that backstory that's not really in the script, but for me to know it, I just knew the weight of this little girl. And it was just a really beautiful moment where I got to kind of do the recall again on Zoom. And I remember the writer, Annette, she just took a moment of like, wow. And I didn't know
you had her in tears.
Almost. I think she was holding back some tears. But I think I just really connected with that moment. I don't know, that scene. And I think a lot of it was me grieving myself, so I could kind of resonate with the character. But it was that. It was just all this story of like female empowerment again as well, and stories that are being told. It's all like female crew as well. So I just thought, it's a really lovely project. And again, based in the Midlands, so I'd love to be a part of it. So and then I got the email to say, you've been selected. It's yours. This was COVID dependent at the time. There was a COVID backup, but I was the first choice. So got to do it, and 3-day shoot, met some lovely people, and like you said, it got selected in the Underwire Festival, which again champions female cruise writers.
I was about to cover the Underwire Festival because that's where it premiered only a couple of weeks back, wasn't it? A couple of weeks back.
Start of Feb, I think, around there.
Yeah, start of Feb, because I know you'd advertised it, and I've got to go and see it as well. I've definitely got to go and see it. So but that's the only premiere it's had at the moment. Did it go well? That's what we want.
It did. The feedback. It did the feedback because it was all online, so everyone could watch it in their own time. The feedback was just beautiful performance. The story was quite touching. And again, I didn't mention, but the story of where it's set is in there's one house in the UK, rehab centre, that allows mothers to have their child with them whilst they're going through rehab. It obviously helps their process. So Annette based it on this house. I can't remember where it's based, but it's called Trevi House. And so it touched a lot of women again that had actually could resonate with that story. So that it was just like a whirlwind of feedback and positivity, and again just championing kind of my story, but the character's story as well. And for my first kind of premiere of how that went, I'd say it was pretty successful. So hopefully it will go on to win some awards as well.
Sounds to me that you got a part there. It was kind of like a dream role that you could really identify with and connect with yourself. So are you proud of that moment, I guess?
Yeah, it really made me feel, it just felt really aligned with me at the moment. In that moment, I was still grieving for my granddad. And because he raised me, I have just fond memories of my childhood. So it was connected with this girl, Jessica, the character, of like, she's going through that now. She's doesn't know who to turn to, who's her granddad, who's her person who's her mentor, if you like. And to receive that role just felt, very aligned. And I was just really grateful again of that opportunity. And I've tried to, again, utilize that to say, what will it lead me on to next? Because who knows, the industry is very, up and down.
And down.
Yeah. But really great experience.
Well, I've got a lot of energy from that, so I could tell you're very proud of it.
Yeah.
So well done. Congratulations for that. I'm sure everyone's very proud of her.
Thank you.
So you decided you become an actress, but when we get to that stage, we feel we want to build up our skill set and build so many things from our passion and our niche. So what made you not just want to be just an actress at the end of the day to suddenly building a business, a company from your passion? This is where we get to the nitty gritty.
Well, I just wish it was easier to be an actor or actress. If it was just like going into McDonald's and saying I want a job, and then you get a job and get shifts and work. If acting was like that, then I'd happily have just relied on it. But I couldn't. McDonald's been great example.
McDonald's workers watching.
Yeah, it's a great.
It is great.
It's more
good job to start off in.
It's more guaranteed than acting is in terms of that stability. And I think that's the word that comes up with acting, isn't it? Is it stable? Is it consistent? And it wasn't. And then lockdown hit, didn't it? So
certainly did.
Everything was kind of gone. So lockdown for me was an interesting year. I always look back and say to people, I actually quite enjoyed it and loved the fact that everyone had to just stop and prioritize what was important to them. Well, some people did. I had to. That was the year my granddad fell sick. So if lockdown hadn't have happened, I would have been still acting, still living in London, and I wouldn't have had that time to spend with him in his last year of life. So I'm just like truly grateful that we had that time, that space to prioritize. Within that year, I think I just had to reflect and look at kind of what I was going to do with my time if acting didn't ever come back, because at one point we didn't know what was next. And I just had to really focus on, I'm quite spiritual, so I did a lot of meditation, and I was listening to a lot of podcasts from spiritual leaders, and that centered me in my purpose. I said, I need to do what's purposeful to me and live my passion. And so Red Lens was born from that, really. What's my passion? And I want to help others kind of discover their passion so that we never have to rely on things that could get taken away from us, basically. And my passion was to entertain and motivate. So the acting is still there. That's how I get to entertain people. And the motivation comes from me doing what I do in Red Lens, which is acting coaching, confidence building, and also just helping people with skills around kind of personal brand and presence online, digital media and stuff like that.
I suppose that's because that's what I found by building my own business and also my acting career. It's like you get to that stage where you want to give a bit back, and it's all about giving back. So that must be the pleasure that you get out of that you can give back your knowledge, your skills that you've learned over time to people who want to get into this sort of industry.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I never had anyone that was doing it near me in my circles. I had Jamelia, who felt like thousands of miles away, and who was this big star, but no one knew what to say, like, Shireenah, go and do this, then try and do that, then don't do this, maybe try a bit of that. And there was no one there to say that. So if I could be that person in Birmingham or the UK or wherever it is that says, oh, she did it like that, she didn't go to drama school, or oh, she was a singer, then she did this, or whatever it is, I'd love to just inspire someone. So I've tried to, even though I have my own personal brand, which is Shireenah the actress, Red Lens becomes this bigger umbrella that can do so many other things. I don't know. The pleasure of having a business means you can just do a lot more, and it doesn't have to be you. It doesn't have to feel like, I guess I feel like I don't have the credibility to say I could help someone. So I feel like doing it under a brand, I can use that brand and make that brand look really amazing and make people buy into it. I don't know, but I am the brand at the same time, so that probably contradicts itself. But Red Lens has just given me that confidence to really push and put myself out there and position it in the industry to say this could help you get to that level. So that's using just all my knowledge.
Your knowledge always comes in handy in them situations. So never underestimate what you're capable of, because you said you put it under like a title. So like, but your name's there, you're part of that brand.
Yeah.
So never underestimate, I suppose, at the end of the day, of our capabilities and what we can offer people. There's always something.
It's true. And it's all like, I think having like my business head on now, it's like you learn so much through marketing and the mindset of people and how best to kind of reach your audience. And it was interesting. I shared one of my posts to a group the other day, and I said, "Oh guys, I don't know if you know, but I'm doing some acting classes." And someone was like, "Oh, I've seen this advertised. I didn't know it was you." And it was, wow. I know. And I was like, oh my gosh.
They must have been surprised.
This is it. And it just made me, I'm getting a bit emotional now. It was just like, oh wow, that means my vision had worked. I tried to put Red Lens out there as its own thing, and it had worked. Someone had seen it and thought that's a standalone thing. It's not like, oh, that actress is trying to now do classes. It's like, no, Red Lens offers classes, but it's Shireenah that's doing it. And that's another just proud moment, for me.
So Red Lens, let's go a bit more into detail into Red Lens. I read that you named it red to start with because red's your favourite colour. Whatever gave it away, eh?
You guessed, yes.
I was wondering, is that why you turned up in red today? So because it is your favourite colour.
Got to be on brand, yes.
You'll be on brand, and I like it. I love the branding. It's brilliant.
Yeah, thank you.
So Red Lens, let's go a bit more into detail on what you offer to people.
And what it does,
it's for you youngsters, adults as well at the same time, because I know you teach every person, if they're professional and even if they are trying to get into the acting industry as well, they are the services that you offer.
It's for everyone. There is something, even if you're a non-actor as well, because when I first set it up, a lot of non-actors were coming to me saying, oh, I want to be more confident, or I've had to start teaching online now because, it was lockdown and people weren't confident in front of the camera, so I was able to offer that service as well. But yes, you're right. So red is my favorite color, but red also means a lot of things like passion, bold, love, all those things that again I believe as well. And
my favorite color as well.
There we go. See, and I've met so many more people that have the same color as red as well. So it's a nice thing to have in common with people. And lens, a lens pulls focus. That's what we do with an actual camera lens. And the company itself, the tagline is pulling focus on you. So it's all about focusing on ourselves. Again, going back to that purpose on the inside. So that's where Red Lens, the title came from. And it's I've already pivoted within a year. I started off just wanting to do acting classes for actors, but I now do acting classes for actors, one-to-one coaching for actors and non-actors, and the digital media, which is video editing, show reels, maybe content for your social media, websites, even like family private events as well. And I'm just about to launch a headshot package for actors as well, but with a difference. It's not going to be your standard just one-on-one, because I did a survey that said people want more out of that experience, some rapport building with the photographer, maybe a group setting that, you can critique each other and say, oh, try that, move your head a little bit, because, we're actors, not models. To help actors
try to pose,
And then probably also launching a show reel package as well later this year as well. But again, using my expertise and bringing in other professionals. So I'm all about collaboration. If you've got a skill that I can't have, but I haven't got, I want to bring you in as well and just work together. So that's why it's been really nice to meet you as well. So
brilliant. We'll have a discussion about that after the
okay.
I was about to say, brilliant. Yeah, let's help each other out.
Why not? Awesome. So it's just great to meet people and connect.
What was it like building your team?
So you say team. Team is me.
Like people helping you, I'm trying to say.
It helps me.
No, it helps you.
No.
So you do it all by yourself?
Yeah, I do it all by
myself. Do you really?
Yeah. I know that probably sounds like she must.
Yeah, I do. So when I was creating something, I used to think I'm doing too much by myself. I'm overwhelming myself. I need to take some work off my hands here. So that's where you maybe like bring in, or maybe pay a few friends to help you out, or outsource it. So What you really? And you teach, oh, I'm here to offer. So you teach absolutely everything as well, and you do all the marketing, and you've done all the designs and branding.
Absolutely everything is me.
I'm gobsmacked.
To the wording of the website. I've never developed a website before, but my website, I've done it all myself, not paid a penny.
Yeah.
The classes, the marketing, the networking, to get everything I've done myself, which is why I'm at a stage now where I'm like,
I'm going to give you a big round of applause there, because I tell you what, I absolutely salute that. That is incredible.
Thank you.
And I suppose during all the lockdowns, you had the time to do that. Like you said, it was like an excuse for a time to refocus and do those things that we've been delaying. Had you been delaying stuff like that for some time?
Well, you know what? It's weird because I'd always knew I wanted to act and perform, but I didn't know that I wanted to have a business and do this. It was like I just knew I wanted to give to the world. And through my kind of spiritual healing through grieving, I realized my purpose is maybe much bigger than just acting. It's to give back or, help others. Yeah. So Red Lens was like born in lockdown, and it continues to grow and develop. And the more I can offer, because, for example, I didn't call it Shireenah's acting classes, because that would have just narrowed me into just acting classes. Because it's Red Lens and it pulls focus on you, that could pull focus on you in so many different ways. And who knows kind of where it will go and what else it will do. Because as long as I can just help people through the creative expression, which is what I did as a child, then who knows? My future plan is to actually launch like a children's musical show. Again, going back to my roots, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, we'll see.
All I can say is I love your branding. I admire your entrepreneurial side from one entrepreneur to another.
Thank you. Yeah. I really appreciate
and like you said, you've got another idea there. It's like you're constantly bouncing ideas and stuff. Oh, wake up today. Oh, I got another idea. Yeah. It's like, remember always to write it down. Yeah. Always write it down. Always write your ideas down.
No, thank you.
Right. I've got a fun question now.
Okay.
This might catch you on the spot.
Okay.
So listen very carefully. If you were on a desert island right now.
Okay.
Nice tropical desert island, the sun being all down on you, no snow like the UK or anything like that. So if you were on a desert island right now, all of the skills that you've learnt from the industry, how would you use them skills on the desert island?
Wow.
What ones would you use? What ones would serve you, do you feel?
Wow.
Would help you?
That's a tough question. So I would have food and stuff to survive and eat, because I love food, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Let's keep ourselves entertained.
What kind of food, though? Is this healthy food, or is it a bit of both?
Well, I don't know. Whatever you decide can be there. I'm pretty healthy.
You can have anything you want. We could run a show for there. They could, I don't know, they could scuba dive into the water and then run the service there to you if you like.
Okay, lovely. All right, food's sorted. So in terms of just keeping me, I guess my mind's focused and entertained.
Yeah.
I love the process that we actors have to go through. You get a new script or something, and I guess you have to learn it or analyze it and find out who this character is. That could take hours, and it's never ending. The theme for my acting classes is like to play. So if I can take a script, for example, and just play with it, kind of tear it apart and re-function it, then that's probably just keep me going for a very, very long time. I'd love to have someone to bounce off, but I think that's one big thing that I'd do. And if I could, if I could have someone else with me, that'd be better. But that'd keep me occupied, I think, on my own.
I don't know. Did I say you could be on your own?
No.
You could have someone. I just wanted to know what it'd be like on your own. What skill set you would use?
Well, no, definitely that. Because again, it's bringing that truth to the performance. So if I can just play with it to find Shireenah's truest goal with that thing, then that'd blow my mind. I'd love that.
Amazing. Good answer.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
You'd think I'd rehearse it.
Yeah. We're at the end of the interview now, so it's gone quick, hasn't it? We're getting near the end of the interview. I want to leave one final question for you.
Okay.
And that final question is, I think it's so important that we inspire and empower people out there who are struggling, and they might see someone like you who's in a position, they've created all these wonderful many things, they've had success, and they can go on to achieve much more success. If you had any inspiring words for any performer out there who is maybe struggling, or they have an idea in their head, but they haven't quite taken the action and gone ahead with it? Say they're procrastinating galore. I mean, we all do it a lot.
We do.
So what inspiring words could you give them people out there right now?
Yeah. I love the word inspire, because
Beautiful
that's exactly
word.
what it is, isn't
Beautiful
it?
word. Yeah.
I'm always inspired. That's why I'm always thinking of new ideas. I'd say that the biggest thing is to not compare yourself to others. Your path is your path. And as much as you might look at me or, superstars and think, wow, they're doing so amazingly. Like you said, there are challenges, there are struggles. There's going to be more of them as well. So it's stick to your path and be as purposeful as you can. Try and find what your purpose is, what you love, what doesn't feel like work, what you would just do without being paid for, and just live, breathe, eat it, and all of that. And just the biggest thing is to just take a leap of faith. It's scary. Life has its ups and downs, but I think the feeling you get of inspiration that you might be inspire yourself is just tenfold by the time you've took that first step to just try and head in that direction of whatever it is that you want to focus on. So yeah, don't be scared to take that leap, I'd say.
Get out your comfort zone,
Basically,
I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah. Acting is uncomfortable as well, so that's where it comes from. Yeah.
Beautiful. Shireenah, thank you very much for today.
Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Do like and subscribe to our channel. Catch you again, guys. We're out of here. Have a nice time. Take care.
You're just arriving, no problem. So we should be there soon, yeah? Hurrah! We made it!
And now we wait.
When you text me, you said, oh my, you can believe it. I said we're pretty much still near Victoria.
Yeah.
2 hours traffic. It's crazy. Crazy.
So tell us, what might we be in for?
Well, when I kind of saw it advertised and it said like the actor's gym, I thought, oh my God, I've got dicky knees. I don't like, even though I used to be an aerobics instructor, I thought they'll all be little 20-somethings and this will kill me. But I thought I came along anyway. But it's not a kind of physical gym. You're not doing burpees. You're doing kind of refreshing and keeping those acting skills oiled.
We're filming a show tonight called Real Talk and Stuff. If you have to give permission for your image to be in the video, would you be able to sign our release form? Thank you very much.
For anyone that's new, it's called the Actors Gym, but we don't do any actual physical exercise. It's just a themed workout every week. And this week it's purpose. So we're just going to do a name game for guys that are just joining us. Really simple, just going to make eye contact with someone and throw the ball to them, but say their name, okay? So if you don't know their name, just ask their name for now.
Prof. Kate.
Nice. Lovely. Well done. Just going to show you something. You have done it before. Everyone's done this, right? Yeah, that's one of the brain gym activities. But we're going to do something a bit different. So take one hand and draw a circle. That's it, nice little circle. Perfect. All right, pause that hand. Next hand, we're just going to make a cross. Okay, and we're going to try and do them at the same time. You'll either end up with 2 crosses or 2 circles.
Wow. In it.
Pinky to thumb. Pinky to thumb. And we'll end with our favourites, patting the head, rubbing the stomach, patting the head, rubbing the stomach. Feel the energy around you of other people. You might have had a long drive here, you might have had a long day, might have done nothing today, who knows. Just take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In your own time, just in through the nose, out through the mouth. Just let that breath circulate and settle you into a rhythm as you walk. Your walk is your own. You don't have to follow anyone else's pace. You're on your own journey. How can a clam?
How can a clown?
cram in a clean cream can?
Cram in a clean can.
How can a clam cram in a clean cream can?
How can I cram?
Round of applause, everybody! Woo! 1, 2, 3, let's go!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So just enter the room with purpose.
It's amazing the sort of things you have to do. You don't always have to talk in everything. Kind of guess what they're doing as well at the same time.
So we're going to take away words. You can only say dog and fish. She'll be dog, you be fish, for example. You. Can we just give them a relationship real quick? Brother and sister, okay. You want him to leave, he's done something. 30 seconds.
Dog! Fish! Dog!